WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. 97.5 The Fanatic. This is Unfiltered with Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo.
97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 5 o'clock. It's What Movie Wednesday. Ricky Bo's got his hand up. You just telling me it's 5 o'clock?
I was just making sure you were on the right time.
Yes, 5 o'clock, last hour of the show. We got a last What Movie Wednesday coming up this segment. We heard from Jalen Hurts. We had the last day of mandatory minicamp. We got the Fightin' Phils finishing up the series against the Blue Jays tonight. You got Duran blowing his first save of the season. There's a lot going on. But let's keep it with Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles because he addressed a few things earlier today after practice. He was asked about A.J. Brown. I thought he handled that one very well. In fact, why don't we play that again for those who didn't hear it? So Jalen was asked about his relationship with A.J. and if he wanted to respond to A.J. telling Maria Taylor that their relationship had changed. Here's the way Jalen handled it.
I'm not in a place to challenge anyone's perspective on anything. Seemingly so it was, and that's where I am. I've always been focused on the collective. I've always put my energy towards that. And as a leader, I've always put an onus on giving maximum effort to achieve the shared mission we have in the team. So, you come into it and you have a sense of pride in, how it began and definitely what we were able to accomplish, and the same thing that I said last time, nothing can take that away. So for the great things that we did, now it's time to focus on achieving great things with this new iteration of the team.
So handled very well by Jalen Hurts on the A.J. Brown question. He was asked if he wanted to respond to the ESPN article from April 1st. He said he never asked to respond to it. He lets it live, and he's doing his job. Well, he was also asked two other questions, Ricky, that I want to get into now that we have not heard the answer to yet. Apparently, he was also asked about his contract situation. Now, if you
import that one first.
All right, pull that one in. Because if you – did you say it on the air or in my ear? Sometimes I don't even know.
On the air.
That was on the air. I don't know. I heard her too.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming it was on the air.
Sometimes I don't know if she's talking on the air or just in my ear. But, yeah, so she's going to get that one ready of the contract. But if you missed the news earlier, Patrick Mahomes signed a monster record-setting contract extension today, over $500 million, $64 million a year. Jalen will be probably looking for a new contract after this season. So every time a quarterback signs a deal, it usually is a record-setting deal. That's just the way it works in the NFL. So when he was asked about his contract situation, here was Jalen's response.
Yeah, for me, I'm truly focused on being the best that I can be right now. And that's what my energy is. There's a lot of change as is. I'm focused on this offense. I'm focused on building with Sean and being at my best.
Telling you, man, PR 101 is the way Jalen Hurts handled everything today.
That's what I'm saying. Somehow, some way, he kind of must have known. Like, he must have had a pretty good idea of the questions that were going to be thrown his way because he's pretty much got an answer for everything. I mean, I feel like he's on the field. I got an answer for everything type thing. And you know what? Doesn't it all go back to the same saying? Keeping the main thing the main thing. Everything he does that not come to your mind when he's speaking?
Yes, it does.
It's unbelievable. You give him credit because, number one, he never throws anybody really under the bus. You ever think about this?
Never.
No matter what's going on, he just keeps it, you know what? He keeps it on him. Like if they ask him a question about somebody else, he'll refer back to himself. But he will not throw anybody under the bus. You got to give him a lot of credit for that.
You got to try and be the coffee bean.
Yeah, he's had opportunities, and he still won't do it. A.J. Brown on his way out has given Jalen every opportunity and every reason to kind of clap back, and he hasn't done it. So Jalen Hurts credit. Now, one of the big issues, though, is going to be, all right, how does he adapt to the Sean Mannion offense, right? You don't have A.J. anymore. You're in a contract year. And you know what? Before we even get to that, as I'm thinking about this contract year, it's not technically a contract year, but when you don't have a lot of guaranteed money after this season, he'll be sitting down to the negotiating table. If Patrick Mahomes just got $64 million a year, $500 million plus, if Jalen does have a good season, right? If Jalen does have the season that we're expecting him to have, that would mean 6 straight playoff appearances. Could you imagine if they go to the Super Bowl and he goes to the 3rd Super Bowl in the last 4 years, 5 years, whatever it's been at that point? 22, 4 years. What the hell's his contract going to look like?
Right.
Exactly.
If he goes back, you might be talking about $70 million.
A
might
year.
be talking 5 or 6 years at about anywhere from $400 to $450 million.
It's insane, man. But that's why it's such a big year.
But it is, yes. And I think you were trying to prove this point about 2 weeks ago and people weren't seeing it. Now that Mahomes has signed this, now all of a sudden it's like, wow, Jalen's now playing for this. Imagine if he wins the Super Bowl.
You're going to have to back up the Brinks truck, man.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, because once you get 2 Super Bowls, there's no fluke involved. That would mean he's been to 3 Super Bowls. He's won 2 of them. That would be no joke whatsoever.
All right, now let's look at the flip side of it. Even though I'm not expecting Jalen to have a bad season, I'm not. If he has a bad year and he doesn't really adjust to the Mannion style of offense and things don't go smoothly, he still needs another contract. He's still not going to want to play with not a lot of guaranteed money on the deal. If you sit down next offseason and he has a tough season, now that becomes a really difficult negotiation because do you look at everything he did before this year? Do you go back to the 2024 Super Bowl? Or if you're the Eagles, aren't you looking at it and say, wait a second, you were 29th in passing yards in 24. You were 23rd in passing yards in 25. You struggle this season. No, we're not going to give you a $600 million contract. Like, this is such a big season for so many reasons because you also don't want to see the contract negotiations get ugly. Like, I hope we're talking about, man, Jalen Hurts has earned setting a new record for a quarterback's contract. If he has a tough year, think about how difficult the negotiations become next year because Jalen's agent's going to say, wait a second. Nicole Lynn's going to say, look at everything he's done. You're going to look at just last year, and the Eagles are going to say, it's what have you done for me lately? Like it could get really interesting if Jalen doesn't have a strong season.
Yeah, I mean, it might because that could mean change. I mean, when you really think about it in a big picture, you know, you have to weigh your options. And if Jalen has a rough year, we'll call it a rough year because I can't see him having a terrible year by any stretch of the imagination. Let's say he has a rough year where he's not himself and he's off. Then what? What do? Do you want to run it back and give him more money for a contract? Or do you say to yourself, well, it's time to make that switch? Because you know, inevitably in football, at some point, you switch quarterbacks. At some point, you go young. I don't know if they're necessarily there yet. But, I mean, if Jalen wins again, I don't think there's any issues whatsoever. They definitely sign him for long term. But if he doesn't and things go poor, that's when you start to think, all right, they may make a switch here.
Man, let's hope we're not having that conversation.
But I'm talking like as an organization. It wouldn't be because he didn't do anything for the organization in his career, because he has. He really has.
And for those who maybe haven't been paying attention, here's what Jalen Hurts' contract looks like the rest of the way. So he's under contract this coming season. He has $51.5 million guaranteed. He's under contract in 2027, but the guarantees drop to $22 million. And then he's under contract in 2028 with zero guaranteed money. So there's no way that he's not getting a new contract before that 2028 season. But it would make sense for everybody to agree to a contract extension next offseason because you also look at his cap hit. In 2027, it's a $42 million cap hit. Right now, it's only at $32 million. So they don't want – the Eagles would love to get this contract extended. You can kind of – what's the word I'm looking for here? Draw out the money so that the cap hits are lower throughout the life of the contract. Like when they extended him the first time, in 2024, the year they win the Super Bowl, he only had a $13.5 million cap hit. Even though he had a $250 million contract or whatever it was, he had a $13.5 million cap hit. That only jumped to $21 million last year. The more it goes up, you know how Howie Roseman likes to work. He likes to get them extensions put in place. You add those dummy years, those void years, and you get those cap hits down. But look, let's hope he has a big season. Let's hope we're talking about a big contract. But it's all going to come down to not only the offensive line, which we've pointed out a lot, the relationship between Sean Mannion's style of offense with Jalen Hurts. Jalen was also asked about that. I have not heard this answer yet. He was asked about the offensive changes. Here's what Jalen had to say.
I'm always open to growth. I'm always open to improving. I think a lot of it is, where do we put our time on task? Where are we? What are we exhausting? What are we repping? And so I'm looking forward to seeing how training camp goes, so we can just continue to build on the foundation that we've begun to lay now. Well, I think generally speaking, because I feel a theme here, fluency is important. So being able to build with one language and grow within that opportunity excites me. And so I think just being able to get the repetition, we talk about this on a year-to-year thing, but we're never talking about this on a multi-year occasion. So I think about that in perspective to my growth, and I know there's a lot of opportunity for me to go out there, just go out there and continue to improve my game. But when you are such a focused individual and you have to focus on all the different things that are changing, that's something that you have to manage. And so I've really just done that and accepted the pieces and the situations that have come, because it has truly been about winning. And everybody is dealt their own set of cards. Mine's just been dealing with change, and I've made the most of that. So whatever's to come, I just want to continue to grow, be the best that I can be in that role.
He's not wrong, as I like to say. I mean, the guy has had to deal with a ton of change, and his team has just kept on winning throughout it all. I mean, even though things were ugly at the end with Brian Johnson, and even though things weren't necessarily pretty last year with Kevin Patullo, the down seasons were still 11-win seasons and playoff appearances. Last year was still a division title, so you figure the guy is right when Jalen Hurts says, I've dealt with a lot of change. He's dealt with more change than any quarterback in the league, I think.
In his time period in the NFL, there's no doubt about it. This year, once again. But I got to tell you, he sounds... All right, you can take this for what it's worth. Very organized in not just the way he's speaking, but in everything that he's bringing to the table right now. He is kind of broken things down that, yes, I do have to learn. I have to organize things. I have to make sure everything's, on the straight and narrow. He basically, to me, I feel like he's almost got a notebook that says, hey, learn this today, learn that today, do this, do that, do X, Y, and Z's everywhere. And I feel like for some reason he's got it really covered, and he's not panicking. I get the not panicking because I guess if things are changing every single year, you have to go through this. But this year, like just the way he's talking, his demeanor, it feels like he understands exactly what he needs to do almost on a daily basis to get where he needs to be.
Yeah, and I keep going back to this April 1st article, even though a lot of Eagles fans were mad about it. My favorite part of this article, I got it circled right here. One team source says Hurts is as open as he's ever been to changes. So that I love to hear, because this is going to be a drastically different offense. At least we think. We thought Kellen Moore's offense was going to be different, and it turned out not to be, but we do believe this will be. But curious, you just heard a couple of clips of Jalen Hurts. I mean, what are your thoughts about the way Jalen Hurts has handled this whole situation? Because I'm giving him a lot of credit. Would love to hear from you. Send your voice memos in. Yeah, A+ for sure for us. Send your voice memos. We hear you coming up in 10 minutes. 610-632-0975. Send your voice memos to the Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda. All right, as we had the conversation earlier, though, Ricky, talent over culture. This secondary might have a lot of talent. Tariq Woolen seems to be the guy that has stood out at OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Andrew DeCecco's told us a lot about him. I heard Dave Zangaro talking a lot about him from NBC Sports Philadelphia. Well, Tariq Woolen spoke with the media, and he said he believes that this secondary has the ability to be the best in the league. Listen to this.
I feel like we can be one of the best, secondary groups in the league, and we all are confident about that. And these guys have showed that with their work. I've showed it with the work I put in, so being able to join them, the sky is the limit, and I feel like we can be one of the best groups in the NFL.
You agree with him?
It sounds as though he's happy to be in the culture.
Yeah. I mean, he only signed the one-year deal.
Do I believe him? Yeah. I mean, isn't it always about coming in and proving yourself? It seems like that on defense a lot, unless you've been here forever, like in a sense where you were drafted by the Eagles. But you come in here, I think you look around and you say, wow, look at the guys I'm going to be playing around. And, what do you want to do? You want to show them that you're just as good and that you could play with them, and that you want to show the Eagles that, hey, I want to be here and I want a contract from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the cornerback room, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and if Tariq Woolen, I mean, if he could be the guy we're hoping he could be, he's right. They might have the best cornerback room. The issue, though, is when you talk secondary, it also includes the safeties. That's where there's a big question mark on this defense. I don't know how good the safety room's going to be. Drew Makuba's coming back from injury. He was up and down as a rookie. Marcus Epps is not spring chicken. He's getting older. Right now, Epps and Makuba are kind of slated in as your two starters. I wouldn't be shocked if Howie brings in another piece for that safety room.
Howie's always looking to fix something.
DeTrecco said, too, as well, that he thinks that he's going to get help outside of the organization.
It doesn't seem like you could rely. I mean, how old's Marcus Epps now?
Oh, boy.
Let me see. I mean, because he feels like he's been in the league forever. Maybe he hasn't. He's 30, so you never know. He's going to turn 31 in January, so he's only 30, but NFL 30s, it could go either
30
way.
Is older.
Yeah, it could go either way at that point. All right, so we will see how it all plays out.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, you're right. That safety position, look, they've gone down to basically one question mark. I mean, there were, 4 or 5 leaving last season on defense.
Yeah, I mean, linebacker, you could argue, is a question on defense, but you have Jahad Campbell, Jeremiah Trotter's flying around all OTAs. But you don't have Nakobe anymore. And he was a voice. He was a leader. I mean, he was the guy who used to stand up to the media after every game, every practice, and spoke for the defense. So we'll see how it all plays.
I agree with that.
All right, let's do our last What Movie Wednesday of the day. Remember, the rules are simple. We'll play a clip of a movie. If you know it, you text it. 610-632-0975. In honor of E.T.'s 44-year anniversary, it was released today. Steven Spielberg. We're doing Spielberg movies because he's got another one coming out on Friday. We've already done Raiders of the Lost Ark, Catch Me If You Can, and The Minority Report.
You didn't even know that.
It was a tough one.
Look down.
Minority Report. We're going to play a clip. If you get it right, you will qualify. We're giving away 4 $50 gift cards to the Jug Handle Inn on Route 73 in Cinnaminson. Here we go.
Tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business. It's going to be one of the best summers we've ever had. Now, if you fellas are concerned about the beaches, you do whatever you have to make them safe. But those beaches will be open for this weekend.
Text the name of the movie, 610-632-0975. Coming up, we'll give you the answer. And we have We Hear Ya, the best voice messages of the show. Don't go anywhere. Unfiltered. 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. All right, welcome back in. We just had your last What Movie Wednesday of the day. Did you get that one without cheating?
I did.
Are you serious? Jaws.
Yeah, that one was Jaws. I tried to make it a little bit more difficult by going with the mayor as opposed to one of the main characters, but I guess it was still too obvious.
Yeah.
Still
Even
too
I got
obvious.
it.
All right, so if you got it right, you qualify. We'll announce
really
our winners.
Screwed up if Sil got it.
Yeah,
Right.
It must have been too easy. But we will announce our winners at the end of the show, so stay tuned. But before we get to We Hear You, some roster moves by the Philadelphia Eagles a few minutes ago.
Go ahead.
They signed Michael Jordan.
Wrong one.
Yeah, not the Michael Jordan. Guard Michael Jordan. They also signed defensive end A.J. Epineza, formerly of the Buffalo Bills. This guy actually was able to get after the quarterback a little bit. I mean, he only had 2.5 sacks last year, but the year before, he went 3 straight seasons with 6+ sacks. He had some defensive end depth. We'll see if he ends up making the team. But this is interesting. He's not old. He's only 27 years old. So he's on the team now.
There was another update in baseball today.
Oh, we didn't even talk about this.
And there was a lot of people asking me if this guy was going to come back. Well, the answer now is no.
Your boy.
Johan Rojas, felt some elbow discomfort while ramping up baseball activities. That was in preparation for his return from his suspension. And imaging revealed an ulnar collateral ligament tear that will require surgery. He probably will be back in spring of 27, but who knows? I don't think he was going to help I don't think the Phillies were planning on bringing him anywhere near the ballpark anyways.
Yeah, so Rojas out, not coming back. Ricky didn't think he was anyway, but Ricky's not a huge Rojas guy.
He can't hit. I mean, he was doing that, roided up.
Not necessarily seeing Justin Crawford setting the world on fire either, but I'd rather let him figure it out.
By the way, you guys are the ones that were so thrilled with what Justin Crawford, you knew he was going to come back down to earth. And, you want to know the biggest issue? Isn't this what all the scouts were saying?
Yeah, the ground ball rate was through the roof.
The ground balls, if you don't hit the ball up in the air as a big leaguer, oh, boy.
Yeah. So we'll see. He's still playing a good defense out there, though. He made some big plays in center field.
He's fine in this lineup right now because other guys have started hitting a little bit.
Well, we are going to get the lineup a little bit later, but let's get to We Hear You, the best voice messages of the show. We do We Hear You twice a show, every show, 3:45 and again at 5:25. We Hear You always brought to you by Rycor Heating and Cooling, your local experts for energy-efficient heat pumps, lower utility bills, and year-round comfort. Learn more at RycorHVAC.com or call 1-855-MY-RYCOR to start saving today. Rycor, we know how.
Now.
I want to know.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Are you listening to me?
We can hear you.
I have something to say.
Please just keep it simple and brief.
Thank you.
Listen to me carefully.
And that's all I have to say about that.
We hear you.
All right, first up.
Jim from Souderton here. I believe talent trumps culture. However, you cannot win with just talent. You can have $1 and they can play like 15 cents. But if you have 15-cent talent, you can't make them into $1. So you need talent that is willing to be team-oriented and be part of a culture that is geared towards winning, and then the individual success follows. If you've got guys where individual success matters over team, like number 11, you don't need that. Talent first with culture. They must both go hand in hand, but you must have talent first.
So Jim from Souderton threw some money references in there. Well, he got his money's worth because he actually got his memo played twice. We played that earlier. That one slid in there as a second time. Jim from Souderton getting a lot of publicity today, Ricky Bo.
Maybe he bribed someone.
More money references.
Oh, Jimmy, he's just throwing things in there. He's getting on there, making calls, text memos. He's in. He's everywhere.
Yeah. Jim from Souderton. All right, let's keep him rolling.
Jay, this is about Jalen Hurts. I mean, him as a leader, he's the best leader in the league. You don't hear any quarterback, you don't hear any sports player answer questions as eloquently, as smart, as poised, as professional, and not calculated, but just, to me, it's genuine. I know you say it's like a fortune cookie or a robot. No, he's speaking genuinely. He's not trying to add fire to anything. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't yell. He doesn't act like Bryce Harper or Embiid or anybody else and fight back and troll and go on Twitter. He just answers the question and keep it moving. One of his main quotes outside of the main thing is, I do not concern myself with the opinions of sheep. And his answers to all those questions that you just laid out on there exemplifies that. Go Birds and go Jalen Hurts. QB1, number 1 in the league.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to have a hard time disagreeing with you today on that. I thought the way Jalen Hurts handled his press conference today is as good as you could have asked for. He knew he was going to get asked tough questions about A.J. Brown, about the contract situation, about the ESPN article, about the offensive changes. He answered every question and didn't give the media anything to latch onto. Like, he had opportunities to throw people under the bus. He had opportunities to say things that would have become sound bites and clickbait things. He didn't do it.
It was just extremely well done. You know what? I think what you have to do going into that is you have to be thinking to yourself, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. If they ask me any kind of questions about this, I'm just going to tell them, let's move forward. Whatever was said, and then just move on. And actually, you know what's weird? We haven't blamed him for anything about what AJ had said. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, you know what? If he said it, he said it. That's it. and he's just going to let it go. That's it.
It's pretty commendable, though, to like have people say things about you and really never fire back. Like, I don't know really how he just has the strength to really compose himself and really let nothing anyone says bother him.
Well,
he's not even 30 years old, and he has like this incredible wisdom and composure. I can't understand as a human being.
Well, he's been dealing with
this.
it. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but you figure what he dealt with at Alabama, and then getting benched in the national championship game, and then having to transfer to Oklahoma. I mean, the guy has dealt with a lot more than most people have, at his age. Now, I said I'm going to keep it positive.
Oh God, what? Like what?
I don't want people to think I'm a Hurts hater out there.
They already believe it.
I'm objective Jalen Hurts guy.
Just lean into the haterism.
No,
right?
I am a Hurts guy, but I am objective Jalen Hurts guy.
All right, then what's the objectivity?
Because as great as he has been, and as much as I love the way he handled his press conference today, there are also certain things about his personality that don't always mesh well with players on the team. Like there are reasons why you get some of the leaked things that you get from the Eagles facility, as we've talked about it. When you act like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, which I think Jalen Hurts acts like, and that's a great trait to have in a leader, it works when you're winning. When you're not winning and you're not performing at the top of your game, that starts to now cause problems. So I give Jalen Hurts a ton of credit. You're right, for not reacting, for not, giving in to some of the things that have been said about him. But at the same time, I do believe that behind the scenes, Jalen Hurts needs to be a little bit more open and connecting with his teammates.
I agree with that, and I think you're right. But I think what his teammates will see, look at this. He's not going. If he didn't throw AJ under the bus, he's not throwing any of us under the bus.
I think he does show there that he is a good teammate in that sense. Like leading by example, he never lets the cover slip. Really,
that's a good point. That is a good point.
Cover slip.
All right, what else we got?
Whereas AJ, he let the cover slip quite a bit.
Yeah.
Next.
Of course, Jalen Hurts took the high road because that's what leaders do. And by the way, if you're the go to something, you don't have to say you're the go to something. Other people tell you that you're the go to something. And you can't be the GOAT if you cause distractions for your team. You force your way out in a trade, and you don't give maximum effort on the field. You alligator arm balls, and you don't run block. Club Hurts, Bill Colarulo. Club Hurts, where they serve humble pie to all the haters.
Yeah, Club Hurts is a movement that Sean Brace has done on middays, but I am objective Jalen Hurts guy. Objective Jalen Hurts
guy. You know what?
How do you take one guy's side when there's going to be negatives, there's going to be positives? You have to kind of stay neutral in this type of situation where you could actually refer to either side.
I just think
no, I'm just saying.
No, you're right. I think you're absolutely correct. I was just going to say, I think that sometimes when we talk about Jalen Hurts, Bill likes to quickly point out the devil's advocate side of, hey, let's point out the negatives. Rather than if we talk about A.J. Brown, he points to all the positives and none of the negatives. So I can see why some people think that he is a Hurts hater.
Now, I said what I thought A.J. Brown did, and it was stupid. Signing the wall and putting best ever play here was ignorance on his part and wrong. But I was basing my opinion on everything I heard about A.J. Brown based off of people down there who play with him, who coach him, who are in the front office, who have said that they loved A.J. So who am I from the outside to disagree with how people felt about A.J. Brown inside the building? Now, the way he's handled things on the way out, I disagree with entirely with A.J. But I love a lot of things about Jalen Hurts. But what bothers me about the Jalen Hurts discourse in this city, and I keep saying this and I will keep saying it until it changes, you're either on one side or the other. You either hate Jalen Hurts or you act like he is the perfect human being. Neither side is right. There is a middle ground here where you could acknowledge all of the things that Jalen Hurts does well. You could acknowledge how lucky we are to have Jalen Hurts as the franchise quarterback of the Eagles. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a winner. He is a leader, but at the same time, there are things that he needs to improve upon. And I think if you actually sat down with Jalen Hurts and not at a press conference, he probably would admit to some of the things he needs to improve upon. And some of
that's
that,
not a bad thing.
And some of that is his ability to connect with his teammates on different levels. That has been an issue for the last few years behind the scenes.
I don't think that makes me a hater.
I'm a realist. I'm the objective Jalen Hurts guy. I'm getting that patented.
I don't know.
I'm getting a T-shirt made.
I wouldn't.
Objective Jalen Hurts guy.
I wouldn't do that.
All right, let's get one more in.
Yes, this is Curtis from Lebanon calling. About the question you guys had today about the culture. I just think you can't win without talent. I've seen teams win that didn't have good culture, but I've never seen a team win without talent. So I think talent is more important.
Yeah, listen, you need talent, but I keep going back to the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles. With all the injuries that they had, Super Bowl 52, you have a backup quarterback, a backup running back, you got backup right tackle, or not right tackle, backup left tackle, excuse me. I mean, that team, Darren Sproles was hurt, Jason Peters was hurt. Who am I missing? Jason Peters, Darren Sproles, Carson Wentz. The list goes on and on. They had a rookie kicker, Jake Elliott. I mean, he's talented now, we know that, but they got him from a practice squad. That team had talent, but that team won that Super Bowl because of the culture, the we all we got, the we all we need. There was no one beating that team no matter what. You agree with that?
I do kind of agree with that, but I mean, like my thought process there was, okay, if you were going to start the next season, would you start it with all those same players and be happy with that?
Well, they started the next season with a lot of those same players.
See, you did not like that.
Yeah, that team was just a perfect team for that year.
I know, but do you see what you did? You went right to a great team. Like a team, yes, that which means they had the culture, but you know what? Would you run it back with that same team and that culture?
Yeah, just listen to some of these injuries they dealt with. Carson Wentz out for the year. Jason Peters out for the year. Darren Sproles out for the year. Jordan Hicks ruptured his Achilles tendon. Chris Maragos, season-ending injury against the Panthers in October. Caleb Sturgis replaced him with Jake Elliott. I mean, that team, yeah, they were talented, but great leadership on that club, as Dave Dombrowski was saying.
And that does matter. Leadership does matter. And, you know, walking into – look, you got to walk into that locker room every single day. Don't you want it to be like the same feel every day? You don't want it to feel like one half is negative, then there's some positive guys, and you would feel that everybody's not on the same page. You go to work, you want everybody to feel like at least they're on the same page.
I agree. All right, coming up next, we got a Phillies game tonight, Ricky Bo.
Last time I checked.
Last one in Toronto. We'll get you to Phillies lineup tonight. We'll take a look at our home run predictions for tonight. We got our What Movie Wednesday winners, our final Twitter poll results, so don't get anywhere. A lot to get to still on Unfiltered. 97.5 The Fanatic, NBC Sports, Philadelphia. Hey, ho! Ricky Bo's got a hockey stick in his hand. Did you see?
What?
I'm in the penalty box.
We're coming down the home stretch. We got to get to the Phillies lineup, and we'll do home run predictions, but we had some news today. So in addition to the Eagles finishing up mandatory minicamp, and we heard from Jalen Hurts, we played a lot of that for you earlier, they signed two players. They signed Michael Jordan, a guard, but then the interesting one is the edge rusher, A.J. Empineza from the Buffalo Bills, former second-round pick. Didn't have a great season last year. Was supposed to sign with a team earlier. I'm forgetting who it was, but he didn't pass his physical. Was it Cleveland?
Maybe the Browns.
Yeah, he didn't pass his physical. Well, here he is, but he has an ability to get after the quarterback. Before last year, 3 straight years, 6+ sacks. So we'll see how all that works out. But I got reminded of some news when you were holding up the hockey stick, Ricky.
Yeah.
So remember when the Toronto Maple Leafs got their draft pick in the lottery, and we were saying that maybe this was going to result in the Flyers getting the 2027 pick in the Scott Lawton deal. Remember there was some of that?
Yes.
So according to Kevin Kurz of The Athletic, per a league source, the NHL has informed the Flyers that while they own the Maple Leafs 2027 first-round picks through the Lawton trade, the Leafs still have the option to transfer that pick to Boston if it's in the top 10. In that event, the Flyers would receive Toronto's 2028 first-rounder. So that's a little bit disappointing. We thought that when the Toronto Maple Leafs won the lottery or whatever it was, that they were going to then get the Maple Leafs pick this year, talking about the Flyers. So it looks like that's not a guarantee yet for the hockey fans out there. Yeah, for the hockey fans out there.
I mean, don't you think these things should be settled beforehand?
Yeah, it's so complicated, man. It's so complicated. I don't even get it. I don't follow it. I don't understand it. All right, so here's what we got coming up down the stretch. We got to do our home run predictions, which we continue to stink at. We got our What Movie Wednesday winners. We'll get our Phillies lineup for tonight, the rubber match tonight, right? They both won a game in the series. Who's going to take the series tonight in Toronto? But before we do any of that, let's just get our final Twitter poll results, because the question we asked to start the show, what's more important in professional sports? Is it talent or is it culture? And we really went back and forth on this all 4 hours because it's a very tough question because ideally you need both. But I'm settling on I think culture is more important than anything else because you can have all the talent and you're not going to win anything. If you have the right culture in place, yes, you need talent, but it's that culture that's going to help elevate you to the next level. But let's see where the masses have weighed in. Twitter poll stood up for 4 hours, right?
Right.
It's up for 4 hours every day, thanks to Dr. Avi Donapel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. What are the final numbers?
Which is more important in professional sports, talent or culture? 56% voted for talent, 44% for culture.
Closer than I thought it would be, but a lot of people saying talent. We got some really great answers, too, on the text board and the voice memo, so we appreciate everybody. All right, before we switch over to the Phils, Ricky Bo, our midday show tomorrow has a remote broadcast. We don't really know what that is because we're always stuck in the studio here because of the cameras for our lovely TV audience. But where are they going to be tomorrow, Sil?
All right, so you can join John Marks and Sean Brace live from the Bet Park Sportsbook at Parks Casino this Thursday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Kick off the Bet Park Summer Soccer Fest and catch every World Soccer match live in their state-of-the-art sportsbook for the ultimate viewing experience at Parks Casino. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
How about that?
Am I supposed to be happy for those two?
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that they get to go up the Parks.
Ray, too. Ray's going. All three of them are going to be there tomorrow.
Man,
and I heard,
of.
I can't confirm or deny, but I heard Sean Brace might be in an Uncle Sam costume.
Oh, come on.
I heard him talking about it.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess.
I swear he loses bets a lot.
I think this was voluntary, dude.
Yeah.
I think it was voluntary. So you could head out there tomorrow to see those guys.
It's not even close to the fourth.
No, for Team USA, you idiot.
What an idiot.
Team USA in the World Cup. Oh, my God. Sometimes, Ricky, it's too easy to come at you. Even Dylan's over here shaking his head at you.
Are you blonde?
Dylan's over there. He's shaking his head.
That huge skull that he has.
Not what he does have a
It looks like Sputnik.
He does have a very big brain in there, don't he? That's why he's so smart, I think, Dylan McKinnon.
He's not smart.
Yeah, he's a smart dude, our Dylan. You ever read his articles? Very well done. But
I actually like Dylan. He doesn't like me.
He's shaking his head at you. Well, you're thinking it's not even close to the 4th of July. That was classic right there.
Well,
it's for the World
Sam
Cup.
Is the 4th of July.
You know what, Ricky? If I'm being honest, my first thought was also the 4th of July. And then
Thank you, Sil.
Great. So you and Silvana are the same.
I never claimed
Well, I wasn't listening to why they went up there, to be honest with you. There's certain things I tune out. If they're talking about the midday show, I'd probably tune out.
It's not nice.
All right. Let's get to the Phillies for
I'm not
tonight.
talking about the show, but you're talking about where they're going. What do I want to know?
All right. Before I forget, I don't want to forget to do it. Before we even do the Phillies, let me give the What Movie Wednesday winners today.
Oh, yes.
Because I forgot one time and I never lived it down. So What Movie Wednesday winners, 4 of you are getting a $50 gift card to the Jug Handle Inn. Great times are always had at the Jug Handle Inn on Route 73 in Cinnaminson. You know a Jersey bar's good when it wins Best of Philly awards, best wings, best burgers, best happy hour, best outdoor bar. Experience the good times, good food with great friends at the Jug Handle Inn. And a big thank you. They dropped off a bunch of food for us today. But here are the 4 winning $50 gift cards, our What Movie Wednesday winners. Robert from Harleysville, Larry from Philadelphia, Christine from Mount Laurel, and Kim from Morristown. Congratulations. Enjoy the Jug. The food is exceptional. All right, let's get to the Phils. So we got the rubber match tonight. Who takes the series? Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Phillies. Max Scherzer on the mound for the Blue Jays. Any major changes to this lineup? It looks like same lineup as last night, right? Same lineup as last night.
Yeah, I'm surprised JT's in there after he almost got smoked.
All right, so let's get our home run predictions in. We have been terrible on this.
Yeah.
So Silvana's still in last. I'm sitting there in second. Ricky Bo is in first. They haven't been hitting a lot of home runs, so it's making it hard. But can they get back to the long ball tonight? Silvana, you go first.
Really, they are to blame for it, honestly. I got to continue going at least somewhat high to try and make some sort of an effort, I feel like.
It's a long season.
Yeah, so...
I want to just win one.
Okay, we'll go Bryce Harper then to try and get on the board.
All right, Harper is a plus 360, second best odds tonight. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, it's almost even money tonight. He's a plus 172 against Scherzer to hit a home run. I'm not going to get a lot of points out of the deal, but I'm taking the low-hanging fruit. Give me Schwarber plus 172. Where you going, Ricky?
Well, a smart move would be JT, right? Not taking it. I'm going Trey Turner tonight.
Whoa. Trey Turner is a plus 680. When Ricky gets these hunches sometimes. So I got Kyle.
He's swinging at everything right now.
Sill's got Harper. Ricky Bo has Trey Turner at a plus 680. Phils are favored tonight. Phils are favored with Luzardo
why
on the
wouldn't they
mound.
be?
Yeah, sure.
By the way, Luzardo has a 1.54 ERA on the road.
Nice.
You want, if you're wondering, and Scherzer's not Max Scherzer.
No, he's been bad. All right, let's get another prediction in.
Yeah.
Spurs or Knicks? Who wins tonight?
I'm going to say the Spurs.
Let me give you the line. Let me give you the line. You got.
Yeah, the line actually might be telling.
It's going to be a Knicks line. Watch.
So the other night it was 1.5. Knicks were favored, and we said that was a Spurs line. Knicks are favored by 2.5 tonight. I'm still going with the Spurs.
I was going to say I'm still going to go with the Spurs just because I don't want to.
I think the momentum shifted. I think it's in the Spurs' favor.
I think so too, and I think that building is going to be real tense tonight because they know they can't afford to lose.
There's not brawls outside tonight.
Oh, there will be. Come on now, with those loser Knicks fans, there will be.
I can't believe you ever rooted for them.
Yeah, I know, Ricky. You were one of them. You believe that? You believe that, Ricky Bo?
It was bad.
All right. Big thank you to everybody who participated in What Movie Wednesday today. Love your texts, your voice memos. We appreciate them. Coming up on the radio side, you got Fanatic Rewind, and that's going to be leading you into the NBA Finals. You can listen to it right here on the 97.5, the Fanatic station. On NBC Sports Philadelphia TV, you got Birds Huddle leading you into Phillies pregame live with our own Ricky Batalico. Have a great night, everybody. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Be safe.